So I just finished 4 of 10, and I'm about to start 5 for the industry career agent. So I'm going to request number 5 now. You've mined, processed, built, and fought. Now let's see if you can transport my goods safely. Yeah, so let's recap the important steps. You mine, so you need to get a ship with a miner on it. You need to find an asteroid, so you can just fly out to any asteroid belt in any system, and then you mine it, and you mine it, and you mine it, and you mine it, and you bring it back to your station, and then you reprocess it to get the minerals. And then with the minerals, you use a blueprint to get the final product. Now, they gave us a blueprint, but I didn't mention how you would get your own blueprints. So how you'd get a blueprint is you'd go to the menu on the left and you want to pull open the regional market. And from here, you could just browse under the blueprints category. Now, blueprints are one of the only items that the NPCs, that the computer actually generates and sells in this game. They don't sell modules, they don't sell ships. Anything you buy is created by a player. The only thing that the game itself creates is basically the asteroids for you to mine and the blueprints for you to start building things. So if we look under ships and frigates, we can go to Caldari frigates, just because I picked a Caldari to start, and we can see that you can buy these different blueprints. Now these are blueprint originals, so they're quite expensive. In this case, they're almost 3 million for a Kestrel and 2.3 million for a Griffin. Now, when you buy a blueprint original, it lasts forever and it has infinite runs. What we used before was a blueprint copy. The blueprint copy had a limited number of runs, and you can copy a blueprint, and you can see here if you go to the copying tab, it tells you how long it would take to copy. This frigate would take 1 hour and 20 minutes to copy one copy of the blueprint to run. And then you can sell that copy or give that copy to someone else while retaining your original. Now here you see the material efficiency and the time efficiency. If you research these and get these better, you can get up to 10% material reduction and 20% time reduction. And you can see how long that would take by going to one of these tabs, the material efficiency research and time efficiency research. Here you can see time per run, 35 minutes. That would be for the first level. And as you do level 1 through 10, it'll take longer and longer. If you want to see the actual manufacturing, just click on the manufacturing one here, and you can see time per run, 1 hour and 40. That's how long it would take to build this if you had all the materials. If you had skills, it would get better and quicker. Now, required skills would tell you what you need to build this item. The outcome is the actual ship or item that it would build. In this case, we could click on the eye or right click and hit show info and look at the details of this. In this case, it's an ECM jamming ship, so it's an electronic warfare ship. So let me go back to the blueprint here and the required input materials. So you can see not only this one needs tritanium, but it needs a handful of other things as well. So you can buy blueprints. Let's say you wanted an afterburner. If we just search for afterburner and then look in blueprints, we can see 1 meganewton afterburner 1. This is what you want for frigates and destroyers. It's only 64,000 for a blueprint original, and all the prices are the same. And there's a limited number of quantity, but they're all sold by the NPCs from the stations. Sometimes people will buy these, move them into a trade hub, and mark them up really high. So be careful that you're not paying too much, but you can get them here. And again, these are the originals that you have to research up to improve the efficiency. And so one of the things people do is they'll buy an original, and then they'll research it up to really high levels of efficiency, and then they'll make copies, and then they'll sell the copies that are highly researched to people. So you can just buy highly researched copies for whatever you need instead of buying the originals, and it's usually cheaper. Now, if you want to buy the blueprint copies, they're not on the market. They're in a different place. You have to go up to the top left to your menu, and then finance and contracts. And here you want to go to available contracts. And you want to search for the item that you're looking for. In this case, why don't we call it a Kestrel blueprint? That was one of the frigates. No item found. Why don't we just search for blueprint and see what comes up? Too many types. Contract type, want to sell. So we're looking for people who are listing things for sale. Okay, it's still too many items. Why don't we restrict the location just to our constellation? Still too many? Or maybe it's saying too many items. Why don't we try limiting it just to our system? It's still too many. Why don't we try... I'm drawing a blank here for some reason now. Condor... blueprint. Bestower blueprint. Now why can't I find anything? Oh, now it's because I'm probably limiting it to the system. Let's say all regions. There we go. So the Bestower is an industrial ship, and now that I searched for Bestower blueprint, you can tell the difference between the originals and the copies by the color. The dark blue are originals and the light blue are the copies. So if you mouse over a copy, you can see here this copy has 10 runs remaining and it's full at 10% material efficiency, 20% time. Same with these, that's a 10 run. And how much do these cost? 500,000. So that's much cheaper than the original. So here's some originals. Here's an original with just the material efficiency for 35 million. And it looks like, oh, here's one that has almost all the way upgraded. That one's 45 million. And this one's partially upgraded for 35 million. So you can buy the originals and do that, or you can just buy the copies, depending on what your needs are and what your budget is. And then once you have those blueprints, then you can build whatever you want. So here you can see the materials needed. You just need the minerals, and then you would build it. Okay. So let's get back to our mission. Where were we? Let's go to start a conversation. Okay, so we've mined, processed, built, and fought. Now let's see if we can transport the goods. Take these electronic parts out to Isikano 4. Okay, so we're picking up from where we are here at Jovelin 3 Science and Trade School. Jovelin 3 Science and Trade School pick up here. Dropping off there, so I'll set my destination now. Oh, it's 5 jumps away. And our cargo is 1 crate of electronics that is 40 cubic meters. If we look at our ship and we go to the inventory in our cargo, we're 58 cubic meters, so we've got enough space. They're going to grant us an afterburner, help us move a little faster, and we're going to get another expanded cargo hold when we're done. So let's accept it. Close. Check out our item hangar, take the electronics and put them into our ship, and then we want to undock and make our way over to that system. We don't need to use that afterburner they gave us. It's nice, but it's not going to make a huge difference here. So now that we've set our destination, we can use our route here on the left, right click and jump through the Stargate.
Warp drive active.
Now I'm going to keep jumping until I get to the system I need to, and then I'm going to dock at that station and I'll pause until I get there. Now, as I'm on my way, one thing I do want to mention is tips for getting around. So because I have my route set, I just jumped into this system. It automatically selected my next Stargate on the way. Now if I go to my general tab on my overview, I can see the Stargate down here, and it's yellow, meaning that's the one on my route, and I can just click jump. Now, you also have an autopilot.
Warp drive active.
It's down here at the bottom, next to your HUD, it's the A. If you click the autopilot, it'll automatically fly your ship to that location that's on your destination. Now, it's faster if you manually jump through the gates, because as soon as you jump through, you'll jump directly to it But if you do autopilot, when you warp to the gate, it's going to land real far off, and it's just going to slowly make its way to the gate. So it's slower, but it's automatic. So you can go make a sandwich and come back if you're in safe space and you're not carrying anything valuable. So as you can see here, I didn't have to select anything. It's automatically got the next gate on my path. So I just need to click this button. That's always going to be in the same spot there. Just click
Warp
jump,
drive active.
and it'll automatically warp me to the gate and jump through it. Now again, I could just set autopilot and then not have to touch anything, but it's going to be slower because it's going to land far off the gate and slowly approach the gate before doing the next jump. And just to show you what that's like, I'll engage the autopilot here,
Autopilot engaged.
and then it's going to understand, okay, the next place I need to go is there. So
Warping to Stargate. Warp
let's
drive
warp to the
active.
gate and jump through it. But when it lands, you'll see it lands about 15 kilometers off the gate. And it'll slow boat, as we call it, to the gate. Now, while the autopilot is engaged, you can still activate your afterburner to make it go a little bit faster. So here we see, okay, we're about 10K off the gate. And now it's going
Approaching
to approach.
Stargate.
And so it has to get within 2,500 before it gets there. Now we can click the afterburner and turn that on and speed this process up. But it's still going to take a few seconds. So it takes a little bit longer. And depending on how slow your ship is, that can make a big difference. So again, easier just to jump yourself
Autopilot
through as
jumping.
needed. And I'll be back when I get to the station. Okay, I just docked at the station where I need to drop off my cargo. So I'll click Start Conversation. Here we are, check marks across the board. Reward will be our expanded cargo hold, which when we complete the mission, that expanded cargo hold is going to go into the item hangar at the station where the agent is, not here where we're dropping this off. Okay, we've got our reward, and in order to pick up our next mission, we're going to have to go back to the station where the agent is. So we can right click on that and hit Set Destination and jump our way back and dock at that station so we can request the next mission. So I'm going to undock and make my way there, and in the next video I will request mission number 6 and do number 6.